What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. So, as you might have seen by the title, your man's Teofimo Lopez Jr. has broken his silence and essentially clapped back at the haters on a number of points. Yeah? So essentially, like I said earlier, your man's Teofimo Lopez Jr. has clapped back at all the people criticising his pops for number one, and also people criticising the fact he was tweaking out, him and his pops were tweaking out after the fight. Yeah? So check this. This is what this funny style cat had to say. Yeah? I have everything I could ever ask for. Thank you for the blessings. Day by day, we get the opportunity to grow more within ourselves. Every day you get is a day closer to God. Many people are opinionated, but don't dare face their problems. Instead, they point at others. Teofimo goes on. I am everything they said I couldn't be, and more. No one can stop the work of God. What I've gone through this far would have killed people. I am a champion in life. He goes on. In fact, this is really his final statement. He posted a picture of him and his pops, and he said, "We are in this together until the wheels fall off." And essentially that was a clapback to people saying that he needs to get rid of his pops. Now, the first thing I'll say is that, you notice this kind of behaviour a lot. People are hypocritical, and I can't say I expected any more or any less from Teofimo Lopez, because this dude, we know for a fact already, this dude is low IQ. Yeah, him and his pops are the lowest of IQs dons. No doubt about that. Yeah, the way he's acted, the bottom line, hypocrisy. I mean, he was out here criticising Deontay Wilder, and rightfully so. Deontay Wilder made a bunch of excuses and whatnot. And now, Teofimo is out talking about the haters himself and making excuses and blaming everything else and saying he got robbed and saying his elbow was hurt and saying he had pneumonia. All the excuses coming out now. And I've always said, just be consistent, yeah? If you haven't got a problem with people moaning, just say nothing. When you see a fighter moaning, say nothing. It's a bit like Billy Ho Saunders. Billy Ho Saunders was, he had the most opinionated opinions. Super opinionated. And then when it was his turn, yeah, when his wig got split, all of a sudden, he go missing. All of a sudden, he quitting on the stool. Didn't want no more. But yet he was super vocal. And that's why, actually, I've got to say this, I do actually respect Caleb Plant-Pot. Well, tell I. To an extent, I respect him more than most fighters, because Caleb Plant, when the Billy Ho Saunders thing happened, Caleb Plant-Pot actually said that, listen, I can't really comment on his situation. I can't comment on Billy Ho Saunders jacking because I've never been in that situation before. So, I think that there's a good principle. If you ain't sure, keep your mouth shut. Although we now know that Caleb Plant-Pot, that kind of advice, he ended up not really taking his own advice to some extent. He ended up running his mouth. Oh man, I'm from the hood. I'm from Detroit. I'm from the city. Oops, where was Detroit? Yeah, where was whatever city he from when he was in there? In the 11th round, nowhere to be found is where it was. Yeah, Caleb Plant-Pot, when he was in there begging for some empathy from Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he was begging for some sympathy. Oh man, you're really good, and I've got a beautiful family to get home to, and I've got a young daughter, and she's really pretty, and I really love her. I love her very much. All this kind of stuff, trying to soften up Alvarez mid-fight. Yeah. But anyway, back to this other zesty dude, because the thing about boxing is, in 2021, it seems to be, it don't matter who you're talking about, they're all zesty, innit? Whether it's Anthony Johnson, whether it's Teofimo Lopez or Caleb Plant-Pot, everywhere you look, there's a certain level of zest going on. And I'm convinced now. I'm convinced there's something in the water. Because there's no way. Think about back in the 80s and 90s. People like James Toney and Roy Jones, was there this kind of zest going on? I just don't think there was. And arguably, maybe social media is somewhat to blame, because back in the day, apart from an ESPN interviewer and a text or a newspaper, fighters would rarely really be speaking publicly. Maybe it's for the best, although, you know what, I don't even agree with that, because, in fact, I'm not sure. Did Roy Jones ever complain about a loss and make out he was sick or whatever? Who knows? Maybe he did actually. I think maybe in the Antonio Tarver fight, he said he got lucky, or... But either way, listen. Maybe it's really to do with... Because I believe, in terms of sport, a fighter's ego, there's nothing like a fighter's ego. No matter what sport you look at, fighters have the most peak ego. Yeah, 10 out of 10 their egos are. And I think you need that to dare to... Think about it. If you don't believe you're invincible, if you don't believe you're the best ever, and therefore when you get beat, there must have been something externally wrong, because it couldn't possibly be you that's inadequate, could it? Yeah, when your ego is massive, that essentially means that nothing can ever be your fault, because you are the supremo. Yeah? Now, applying it to this situation, your man Teofimo, and it's quite sad, because the way his career is going to go, very quickly, he's going to end up like Anthony Johnson, not changing team, doubling down. I mean, I heard ES News talking about, oh man, Canelo Alvarez, he never changed trainer. Listen, Alvarez's trainer, even when Alvarez lost, number one, Alvarez lost to arguably one of the greatest fighters ever. In fact, in certain aspects, there's no doubt Floyd Mayweather is the greatest ever. That's who Alvarez lost to. Your man Kambosos, yeah, I rate him as a fighter, but his boxing skills are limited in my opinion. I mean, losing to Mayweather is one thing. In my opinion, losing to Mayweather when you're 22 years old, that isn't a sackable offence for a trainer. Especially looking at his improvement curve. Now, losing to Kambosos, that's a whole different ball game. Yeah? And not only that, Teofimo could have lost to Kambosos. But that doesn't change the fact that you and your pops, or your pops mainly, has got to go. Did you listen to the corner advice? And the thing is, the fact that Teofimo is doubling down, that tells me he has seen the comments people have made. And he has watched it back and heard his dad. I mean, he was there, never mind watched it back. He heard the advice he was getting. And the thing is, I've mentioned this before, but the reason I gave Terence Crawford's team credit, because Terence Crawford's team said, listen, we need you to step it up because we're not sure what way the judges are looking at this fight. That, if Teofimo Sr. had any level of training skills, even if you think your fighter's winning, that's the best thing to say. Unless you've knocked the guy down 5 times in a row in every round, you need to be given pessimistic advice. Not telling him, yeah. The worst thing is, even after the fight, Teofimo Sr. really highlighted how low his IQ is. Even after the fight, hours after, where he had time to reflect, he was still doubling down saying, yeah, we won every round. Even when it was clear he didn't win every round, he was still saying he won every round. So some people, their IQ limits them to an absolute fault. And this in my opinion, is as good as career ending. Because Teofimo Lopez, your cardio weren't no good. And the thing is, again, think about this from a managerial point of view. All the things that went wrong, and you think you're going to run up to... And this is the thing, like I said, Teofimo Sr., he thinks the solution to his problems, again, because both of them aren't internalising any of the issues. So, yeah, we're going to blame the robbery. We got robbed. We're going to blame Eddie Hearn. We're going to blame this, we're going to blame that. And then, now we've blamed all them other aspects, to put the cherry on top, we're going to use another excuse essentially and say, oh well, we're going to run up to 140. Oh yeah, it's the weight. Literally, every single, and its thing is, some fighters lose, yeah, and they say nothing. Well, rarely, but you know what I'm saying? In principle, some fighters can lose and say nothing. These guys have picked everything. Every single possibility has been checked. Oh, it was the weight. The weight. So wait there. Now what you're basically saying is, Teofimo Senior is now about to send his son into 140 in there with Josh Taylor, going straight up there. Do you see what I mean? In terms of how these dudes don't know how low their IQ is, and how gassed their egos are. So wait there, you just got whooped here by a man. No word of a lie. When I saw Teofimo and Kambosos in the ring, I thought, wow, this guy is about half the size bigger than Kambosos. Seriously, you must have seen it as well. It was noticeable. So you went in there with a dude half your size, and he made your wig super leaky. Yeah, he gave you a new style wig. Yeah, Kambosos gave you a funny style wig. He redecorated your wig so it was nice and funny style to match your attitude. But wait there a minute, a man half your size gave you a funny style leaky wig, and you think you're gonna run up to 140 and you want a piece of Josh Taylor? Are you serious? Your ego is out of control, and your super low IQ is out of control. That's dangerous. We already heard what Kambosos had to say. Kambosos already been said that, listen, I think you're dehydrated. I think you got some sort of concussion going on, because you're tweaking right now. Yeah? How you're talking is mad. You just got worked at 135 when you think you're going to run up to 140 for something sweet. Are you joking? Seriously, are you joking? Oh man, that's the thing, they always go to blame everyone else, blame the fans. Oh man, the fans are haters. I'm doubling down. I'm blessed. That's the other thing they always go to. They always end up going back to religion again. Yeah? Before the fight, and I'm not saying, to be fair, Teofimo Lopez, he is relatively religious, but before the fight, it's all KO, it's all me. After the fight, well, I don't even need to be a champion. I'm still a winner. Isn't it amazing? So right there, before the fight, you was shouting and screaming about how you're undisputed. Now after the fight, oh, I don't even need a belt. Y'all in the basement anyway. Y'all trolls are in the basement. Listen, as far as your sport goes, you're in the basement too, because you just got whooped by a 13-1 underdog. Oops. Yeah, you may as well be in the basement. Looking how your funny style wig be looking. Yeah? But anyway, this, like I said earlier, is going to be another sorry tale of just goofy dudes, bottom line. Teofimo Jr. is clearly his dad's son, because he dopey as well. Both of them are dopey. And the fact that Dopey 1 is doubling down with Dopey 2, that just says it all for me. And I feel bad for Teofimo Lopez fans, because his career's over now. Yeah? His career's over. Because he ain't got no his training's down bad, his managerial stuff's down bad, and his coaching's down bad. And he's clearly not that much of a talent. It's not like he's Mike Tyson 2.0. He's alright. He needs to have an A1 trainer, an A1 manager. That's what he needs to be successful in this game. He ain't naturally super duper gifted. His whiskers are suspect, his power. Listen, he Devin Haney 2.0. Yeah, Teofimo Haney. In fact, that's his, you know what? Teofimo Haney. Yeah, that's his name, 100%. Teofimo Haney. How's it going? You're right, you're right, Mr. Haney. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Teofimo Haney, 100%. Because you've got no power and your chin's sus. In fact, I'm pretty sure Devin no power having ass Haney, I'm pretty sure he ain't even been put down yet. Oops. And I think Teofimo was laughing at Haney for getting rocked. Wow, you done bad right now. Never mind getting rocked. You got put down in the first round by a 13-1 Don. Damn. And the fact all these things have happened, don't forget, you were meant to be the big mister. I'm powerful. I've got KO power, and Haney hasn't got no power, and I've got chin. So wait there a minute. You're the one with power. You're supposed to have power. You're supposed to have chin. And you get put down in the first round, and you don't think there's something wrong with your current situation in terms of your pops. Your training, your coaching. and whatever else. When people with any level of intelligence know that, wait there a minute, if I have an opinion, yeah, and the rest of the world has the opposite opinion, maybe it's me that's wrong. Oh, no, 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 not these dudes with big IQs. Sorry, not these dudes with big egos and low IQs. They think it's everyone else. Oh, it's not me because I'm blessed by God. I mean, look at Deontay Wilder. Oh, man, I'm anointed. My grandmama said I'm anointed by God. And oops, how'd that work out? Yeah, Fury splattered all your anointedness all over the ring. That's what he did. And that, in fact, that statement there from Wilder shows you, yeah, truly how gassed some of these fighters are. Wilder genuinely believed, yeah, he was a gift from God. That's what he was saying for years. Until Fury, yeah, trust me, Deontay, he ain't mentioned nothing about God no more. Because he knows, yeah, Fury whooped the God out of him. Yeah, there isn't even a bit of a messenger left in Wilder. Fury listen, whatever messenger your grandmom told you was in there, it's gone now. Yeah, Fury wiped out all the messenger. Yeah, all the prophecy, listen. Tyson Fury whooped the prophecy. Tyson Fury whooped your grandmom's prophecy clean out of your head for you. And that's why Deontay Wilder don't even mention no prophecy no more. Because, yeah, your man Tyson Fury deleted it from his mind with them knocks to the head. Anyway, Teofimo Senior, Teofimo Junior, officially you're down bad. Officially you're going through it. Yeah. Oh man, you know what? they always start talking about how they came up. Oh man, I am everything I said. They said I couldn't be, and more, and that's what the last thing I'll say is, I've been a typical theme from these 2021 fruities is, yeah, when people can't show you what they are through their actions. In 2021, what they do is they jump on Instagram and they talk about it. It's a bit like Teofimo in the post-fight interview, saying he got robbed and having a whole load of energy, having a whole load of bad negative energy. And I said, wait there a minute, why is Teofimo so... Where's all this energy coming from? Why didn't you use some of that energy in the ring to get the dub? Oops. And it's the same here, really, because Teofimo talking about, oh, I'm everything they said I couldn't be, and, well, they said you get whooped by Kambosos. Oops. Yeah, how about that? These guys, Teofimo, who couldn't prove that he's everything he said he couldn't be, or whatever that crap saying is, he couldn't prove that in the ring, so now he on Instagram trying to rub his own ego. Yeah, because before, when he beat Lomachenko, everyone, was not me, but everyone else was rubbing off Teofimo Lopez for being this great prophet, like Deontay Wilder. Anointed. Now, Kambosos knocked the prophecy out of you. You want to be on Instagram talking about how no one can stop the work of God. Well, Kambosos just stopped the work of God. No, I'll tell you what Kambosos did do. Kambosos, if anyone's a messenger, your man Kambosos is a messenger. Yeah, God was sent to humble you. Oops, how about that? But again, people with big egos and low IQs, he can't even possibly fathom that, wait a minute, maybe I need to reel my ego in. Maybe I'm not sent here from God. Maybe I am just like everyone else. Yeah? These guys are seriously delusional. They seriously think their crap don't stink. And then they get whooped. Oops.